The new Teen Wolf movie ended in a truly brutal way, and a lot of fans are confused as to why. So let's take a look at what happened and why it was just so brutal. Spoiler alert, just by the way. The movie ends with Derek Hall making the ultimate sacrifice for his friends and family, ultimately giving up his life in order to protect them from the Nogatsune.
Did you get that?
Yes.
No.
It can wait.
You want me to answer it?
No.
In a dramatic sequence of events, Derek takes on the powerful creature single-handedly and is able to drive it away from Beacon Hills, but at a cost. With his last ounce of strength, Derek manages to make it back to his loved ones and give them a final goodbye before collapsing in their arms. The townspeople joined forces to honor Derek Hall's brave sacrifice by gathering in the center of Beacon Hills around a memorial set up for him. Scott and the others share touching memories and stories of their adventures together and how Derek had helped turn their lives around. At the same time, a peaceful sunset casts its warm light over Beacon Hills as the movie comes to an end, symbolizing that even though Derek is gone, his memory will live on forever. And that brings me to my first point about why it was so brutal. No one saw it coming.
You get the family that you find.
You know, I'm not sure how your dad would feel about me giving you the Jeep, but something tells me it's the right thing to do.
For any fan of Teen Wolf, the movie's ending was an absolute heartbreaker. Tyler Hoechlin's Derek Hall had been a vital part of the show since its inception, and his return to season 4 had signaled great things for his character. When Derek first appears in the opening scene of Teen Wolf the movie, as a happy family man ready to teach his son the ways of a werewolf, viewers had no idea what was in store. Despite all the sacrifices Derek made throughout the Teen Wolf series, his death seemed like an unthinkable ending for him, and it hit everybody hard. As everyone gathers around Beacon Hills to honor Derek's brave sacrifice, there's a bittersweet atmosphere that encapsulates both the joy of happy memories with him and the sorrow of his untimely departure. As if to symbolize Derek's lasting legacy, a beautiful sunset illuminates the town while the movie ends, showing how even though he's gone, his memory will live on forever. Although Derek's death opened the door for new stories, it also left a gaping hole in the hearts of fans who had followed his character's cathartic journey.
I don't know who you are, but you look pretty athletic, so I'm guessing your son is too.
That's my son.
The Teen Wolf movie's ending may have left some viewers feeling a little empty, but those who had followed Derek Hale's story since the beginning of the show will understand why his death resonates so strongly. Derek was introduced as a grief-stricken survivor of the Hale House fire and channeled his pain through violence for a long time. But as the show progressed, Derek gradually began a journey of self-forgiveness and understanding his purpose as a werewolf. He became a more compassionate guiding force for Scott and his pack, showing us how people can overcome their trauma to become better versions of themselves. That made it all the more heartbreaking when Derek's story came full circle in the Teen Wolf movie. Although he had forgiven himself of surviving the Hale House fire, the guilt and pain from that event eventually led to his death. Not only does this restart the cycle of trauma for Derek's son, Eli, but it also feels like an unfair ending for a character who had come so far. The movie's ending was both tragic and hopeful. Scott and Allison got a second chance at love, and the next generation of the Hale family was set to take center stage. But fans were left wanting more from such a big cast of beloved characters that featured some crucial missing members, like Styles and Kira. If Teen Wolf the movie had continued its story as a show or miniseries, there would have been much more time to explore the characters' current lives and relationships. It would have given the writers a chance to properly balance the Nagatsune's plot with character development, something that was sorely missing from the movie. We were barely introduced to Liam and Mason's friendship, Malia's relationship with Parrish was unexplained, and Jackson's scenes only showed off his snarky personality. This feels like a wasted opportunity considering how much potential the characters have. The Teen Wolf revival deserved more attention, and it would have been perfect as a show or miniseries. I can only hope that this happens in the future. But despite the missed opportunities, Teen Wolf the movie's ending was satisfying, if a bit brutal.
It's coming loose anyway.
You gonna punish me or not? Because otherwise I'll just go to my room.
Eli, I don't want to punish you. I'd like to maybe understand what you think you were doing.
I needed a ride to meet my friends after the game. What is wrong with that?
It wrapped up the Teen Wolf story nicely and gave us closure for our beloved characters. With that being said, fans can still dream of what could have been, and maybe one day it will be. But there were some loose ends that were tied up. In the third season of Teen Wolf, we were introduced to the Nagatsune, an ancient and strong villain that continues to play a part in Teen Wolf the movie. Thankfully, some iconic characters like Allison make a surprise return, which gives us hope for more. But one character's survival was especially surprising: Mr. Harris, one of the school's teachers who seemed to be working with the Duroc before he was kidnapped and tied to a tree as a sacrifice. Although he unsuccessfully begged for his life, we never actually got an answer about what happened to him. Fast forward to Teen Wolf the movie, and there he is, alive and well. Now, it's clear that Mr. Harris was able to escape from the Duroc's clutches, leaving a question as to how. There's still a lot we don't know about what happened between the sacrificial scene and his reappearance in the movie. Was he able to free himself? Did someone help him escape? We may never know, but it makes for great speculation among Teen Wolf fans. Whatever happened to Mr. Harris is yet another mystery to add to the long list of questions that Teen Wolf has left us with, and who knows if they'll ever be answered. While this movie certainly answered some questions, it did leave us with plenty more. For starters, what happened between the sacrificial scene and Scott's reappearance in the movie? I also wanted to know what happened to Styles, since Dylan O'Brien was nowhere to be seen. Tyler Posey and Crystal Reed, stars of the movie, have now expressed their desire for a sequel. I just already want to say yes, please. In an interview with Screen Rant, they said it would be interesting to explore more of the characters' experiences dealing with the heavy responsibility of being an adult. Posey also suggested that they could look into mental health and psychological aspects, which could provide a platform to help people in similar situations. The movie certainly left me wanting more, so here's hoping we get a chance to find out what happens next. With Posey and Reed at the helm of a potential sequel, we can expect an action-packed and emotionally engaging story that delves into mental health issues while still entertaining us. We can all only hope that Posey and Reed get the chance to make their sequel dream come true. Who knows what's in store for us if it does? We'll just have to wait and see. In the meantime, let's all enjoy Teen Wolf the movie and all of its exciting twists and turns. I personally want to see more characters be developed if there was a second movie. There was simply too much of a focus on characters that already get a lot of love in this movie. Do you think there will be a second movie? See you in the next one.